How great thou art. How blessed my soul, my Savior to thee. How great thou art. 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 The topic of the sermon, it's a short one, is called to know God. Called to know God. I spoke last week of our being joined together with the Lord. Hallelujah. God wants us to know Him. He is our creator, and He wants us to know Him. He wants us to know Him intimately. He wants us to know Him. Because you see, the lack of knowledge of God, leads to troubles. The lack of knowledge of God leads to troubles. You see, there was an angel in heaven that didn't know God. His name was Lucifer. He didn't know this God really good. He had many questions in his head. You can say, how is that possible? He was in heaven. Yes, he was in heaven and he had a lot of questions in his head. And he didn't ask questions. And he was contemplating on all those funny things in his head. And that led to his fall. That led him to sin. And that led to his fall. And not only to his fall, but it led to the fall of 1/3 of all the angels in heaven. Because this angel did not know God. You see, lack of knowledge of our God leads to terrible situations. And God wants to help. Maybe let's read it. Revelations 12:3-4. Revelations 12:3-4. Revelations chapter 12 from verse 3 to verse 4. Can somebody read that for us quickly? I want you to read with me. Revelations 12 from verse 3 to 4. I'm talking about an angel that didn't know God. He was in heaven, close to God, but did not know God. And he fell. And he started making troubles in heaven.
Then another sign was seen.
Yes? Yes. Can you read it to the microphone, please? Proszę mu dać mikrofon.
Then another sign was seen.
Yes.
Behold, a great fiery red dragon, Satan, with 7 heads and 10 horns, and on their heads were 7 royal crowns. And his tail swept and dragged away 1/3 of the stars.
And the tail of this dragon threw to the earth 1/3 of the stars of heaven. Yeah?
Yes.
in Revelation, stars are represented with angels. Okay? So a third of the stars of heaven were drawn to the earth by the tail of this dragon. It's that angel, Lucifer, that became the dragon. Okay, and now his influence kicked out a third of all angels out of heaven into the earth. They were casted out. Now you can see, they were in heaven. They were in heaven. Some people want to go to heaven. Some Christians make it as a goal to go to heaven. It's not about going to heaven. It is not about going to heaven. Of course, He will take us to heaven. But it is not about going to heaven. It is about knowing Him. Eternal life is knowing God. Eternal life is not going to heaven. Eternal life is knowing God. Because if you don't know Him, you may make the same mistake again. Some people say, hey, that will make heaven. That's rubbish. It's not about making heaven. It's about knowing God. This is eternal life. The Gospel of John 17, verse 3. Let's see the definition of eternal life by Jesus Christ Himself. You'll be shocked. You will be shocked. Yes.
So now this is eternal life.
This is eternal life. All of us went to school. We know how to define things. When we want to define things, we say this thing is this. Okay? Then we define it by saying this is this. What we want to define, we define it by what we know. Okay, so Jesus is defining eternal life for us. And He says, this is eternal life. Now let's hear Him, what He says it is.
This is eternal life, that they may know You, the only true, supreme, sovereign God.
That they may know You, the only true God. This is eternal life. And you're Christ. Hallelujah. This is eternal life. Knowing God, hallelujah, is eternal life. It's not about going to heaven.
Wait.
He will take us to heaven, so don't be so surprised. He will take us there. Then He will say, let's go back to the earth. Yeah. You know, the church is waiting for the rapture of the church now. He will come for us. And He will rapture His church. And He will take us to heaven. And we'll be with Him. And we'll have the feast with Him there. And we'll stay with Him for some time there. Then after some time, He will say, you know what? Let's go back to earth. It's not about going to heaven. You say, let's go back to... Have you not heard that He's coming back to this earth again? You know with whom He's going? He's coming back with His own people, with His own church, hallelujah, with great power and glory. He's coming back to this earth. Hallelujah. So you think He's about going to heaven. So when He tells us in heaven, let's go back to earth, you say, Lord, you go alone there. You go. I'll remain in heaven. That they may be where I am. Yeah. That's what it's about. If it's on earth, that's where we should be. Yeah. Rika Santa, that they may be with me to see my glory. Rabashaka, Rabaraka, Rabusikakida. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Labarabas. That they may know God. You see, why does God want us to know Him? Because if we don't know Him, we will make blunders. That was what led to the fall. The fall of angels fell, and later to the fall of man. Lack of knowledge. If the devil had known that it's impossible to fight God, he wouldn't have even tried. If he had done it, He wouldn't have even tried. And there's so much he wants to tell us. You see, I'll give an example of maybe somebody has a cat or a dog, and he likes his dog so much, and he loves this dog and wants to commune with this dog. Let's say the man speaks English. The dog does not speak English. The man will say, "How are you?" The dog will answer, "Wow, wow." The man will say, "Hey, you see, I want to go to work." The dog will say, "Oh, look, what is work? I want to go to the office, and I do this, I work for this, I get money there." The dog doesn't understand. Now this man loves his dog. He wants to commune with his dog. There's so much he wants to share in his life with his dog. But this dog can't understand. This dog will only understand, give me food, let's go and play, let's run a little bit, and that's all. But this man has a lot to share. The same thing with God. There's so much he wants to share. How to live millions of years. How to live from eternity to eternity. Do you know? Does the man know that? He knows it. Hallelujah. He wants to share this. Hallelujah. He wants to share this. And now, how not to be afraid of anything? He wants to share it. Man does not even know that one small virus now is disciplining all men all over the earth. They don't know a lot of things. Look at him, he's hiding in his house now because of one small virus. There's a lot he doesn't know. That's the reason for the Christian. Yeah. Then let's read John 16, verse 12. There's a lot man does not know. John 16:12.
I have many more things to say to you.
Jesus had been with his disciples. He taught them a lot of things. He was finishing his mission on earth. Then he told them, you see, there is still many more things I want to share with you. It's just like that man that has that dog. There's a lot of things he wants to share with that dog. But that dog cannot comprehend. Hallelujah. He wants to talk about his work with the dog. The dog cannot comprehend. Hallelujah. He wants to talk about the joy of driving a car with the dog. The dog cannot comprehend this. And Jesus said, please read.
But I have many more things to say to you, but you cannot bear to hear them now.
How to live for eternity. I want to tell you. You don't know this. Lord, oh, that some people are praying that I may live long, that I may live whole, maybe 100 years, maybe. He says, I want to tell you how to live for eternity. But you can't grasp it, you can't take it. There's a lot I want to tell you, but you can't take it. Hallelujah. Let's know this God a little bit. Psalm 90. 1 to 2. There is a song in this place that Pastor really likes. Okay. Can someone read Psalm 90 for us?
Lord, you have been our dwelling place.
Yes.
Our refuge, our sanctuary, our stability in all generations.
Yeah.
Before the mountains were born.
Before the mountains were born. Huh?
Or before you had given birth to the earth.
Yes.
And the world.
Yes.
Even from everlasting to everlasting.
Even from everlasting to everlasting. What is?
You are an eternal God.
You are eternal God.
Amen.
Hallelujah. 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 Even from everlasting to everlasting, you are God. Pastor likes this song so much. This Paris, he has a song here. You know that song? Lord, oh God, thou hast been our dwelling place for generations gone, before the mountains were brought up, or ever thou art formed the earth, even from everlasting to everlasting, thou art God, even from everlasting to everlasting, thou art God. Do you see our God? From everlasting to everlasting, He is God. Hallelujah. He wants to tell you something about living from everlasting to everlasting. And some people are saying that I may live on 80 years. That I may live, Lord, if you can give me 90. Rubbish. Rubbish. Even from everlasting to everlasting, thou art God. There's a lot of things I want to tell you, but you can't bear them. You can't bear them. How to live perpetually in health. I want to tell you. But look at you. Look at all men now. They are afraid of one tiny virus. Look at them. There's a lot they just don't know. There's a lot they just don't know. Hallelujah. A lack of knowledge will make people fumble in life. Then you see, God decided to do something to help. You see, because of the relation of God and man, it was not good enough. It was like that man and his dog. There's a lot of things he wants to tell that dog. The dog doesn't understand. Then God said, I know what to do. I will do something for creation. And that is the God-man. That is to have the God-man. Because he is almighty and he can do anything. He took out from himself the essence of God and says, I will get them born again and I will put God in them. And I will get them born again, and that new man, I will put God in him. Then when I look at him like this, he understands what I have just said. Because he now has the understanding of God. When God talks to him, this being can understand. Because he's a God man. Hallelujah, hallelujah. God has now put himself in the man. Now his amplitude of understanding is so wide. He can understand God. So he wouldn't say, Lord, from everlasting to everlasting, you are living, and to another everlasting. He won't be telling God, this is impossible. You know, some scientists will say it's impossible. But this God man can understand God. And he says, hey, dear God, since we are one, how do you do it? You want to know how to live for eternity? I will tell you. Then he starts explaining. And this man, this God man, can understand him. Hallelujah. 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 Labashataka. He wants his creation to know him.
Yeah.
He wants his creation to know him. Because if they don't know him, they will blunder. All of the troubles of men today is because they don't know God. My people die for the lack of knowledge. That's Isaiah 4:6. Because they die. A generation is coming and is even here now that will refuse to die. That generation is coming and is even here now that will refuse to die. That will say, hello, how are you? They say, who are you? I'm dead now, I came for you. He said, get away from me. Hallelujah. You and I are enemies. You know death is an enemy. Death is not our friend. You know that the last enemy to be destroyed is death. Death is an enemy. So there is a generation of Christians that is coming, and it's even here now. That when death comes to them, he says, death, in the name of Jesus, be gone. And death will say, I'm having trouble now. There are some people, when I go to them, they say I should go away. And I can't do anything about that. Hallelujah. Lava Sita, Lava Shantakida. Blessed be God. Hallelujah. So God wants us to know him. Because there's a lot of trouble if man doesn't know God. And some people think this Christianity thing is about going to heaven. I tell you, it is not about going to heaven. I know some people preach that. It is not. You will go to heaven if you're a Christian. You will go. But it is not about going to heaven. It is about knowing this God. Hallelujah. We can know him. That's why he made us one with him. Hallelujah. He made us one. He says, he that is joined with the Lord is one spirit. He doesn't want us to be two spirits away. He wants us to be one. He that is joined with the Lord is one spirit. Hallelujah. Labashaka. Say with me, I am one spirit with the Lord. I am joined to the Lord. I am hallelujah. This is the will of God, that we may be so entwined with him. And there was one day I was listening to a pastor, and he was teaching us. He was teaching us about different kinds of knowledge. Then he was talking about epignosis. The knowledge where you know the one that you are knowing as you are known. The knowledge where you intimately know that one as you are known. Hallelujah. Because you are entwined with him. And he was talking about induced magnetism. Hallelujah. You know, all of us have done this before. As kids, when we have some magnet like that, and we'll take a spoon like that and put by the magnet, and then the spoon get magnetized. And then after some time, when you use that spoon, because of the fellowship with the magnet, it also gets the quality of magnetism. If you take another spoon and now use that spoon that has been magnetized to draw it, it will pull it. It now has that power because of its relationship with that magnet. Hallelujah. The Lord is that magnet. Hallelujah. And we are joined to the Lord. Hallelujah. We read today in Rhapsody. Hallelujah. Lagasata. And Pastor was saying, I have overcome because greater is he that is in me than he that is in the world. And I am joined to the greater one. Hallelujah. I am joined to the greater one. Joined. Hallelujah. This is my calling, to know the greater one, to know him, because I am joined to him. Hallelujah. Because you see, he said there's a lot of things I would like to tell you. There is a lot of things I need to tell you. I want to share with you a lot of things. I want to tell you, explain to you what love is. You know God is love. Yeah. Many people fall in love today in the world. They don't even know what the word love is. Because you see, God is that love. Hallelujah. And they don't even know this. God says, I want to tell you what love is. Hallelujah. There's a lot man does not know. There's a lot man does not know. Blessed be God. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Blessed be God for the calling to know God. This is the highest thing you may ever get from God. He says, come and know me. This is the highest calling. Come and know me. And he gave you an open check. He says, I will join you to me, and we will become one. Amen. And you can know as much as you want to know about me. We are joined together. Know me. Hallelujah. 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 Blessed be God. Shall we rise? Hallelujah. Rabashata. Liragasita.
And no man can say.
Give him thanks for the grace of knowing him. Hallelujah. Thank him for the grace of knowing him. Santa Kida, Lavaraga Santa Kida, Lavaraga Sinto Pradista, Lavaraga Sida Proproshita, Laregi Sopradisata, Lavaraga Santa Kida. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Hallelujah. Thank you, Father. What a God you are. Hallelujah. What a privilege to know you. Hallelujah. What a privilege. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Blessed be God. In Jesus' mighty name. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Let's give the Lord an offering, sing, and we can finish for today. Hallelujah. Enjoy God. You are now joined with him.
Praise the Lord.
Enjoy him.
We are a chosen generation. We've been called for to show His excellence. All I require for life, God has given me, and I know who I am. We are a chosen generation. We've been called for to show His excellence. All I require for life, God has given me, and I know who I am. I know who God says I am, what He says I am, where He says I'm at. I know who I am. I know who God says I am, what He says I am, where He says I'm at. I know who I am. I'm walking in power. I'm walking miracles. I live a life of favor, cause I know who I am. I'm walking in power. doesn't matter what you see now. You can see His glory. Cause I know who I am. Take a look at me and me wonder. It doesn't matter what you see now. You can see His glory. Cause I know who I am.